It's a quiet evening. You're at home alone, maybe reading your favorite book, watching a little TV, or getting ready for bed. Everything feels perfectly normal till it doesn't. Suddenly, there's a tight, crushing weight in your chest. Your left arm feels numb. You're gasping for air, but no matter how deep you try to breathe, it's not enough. In that moment, a terrifying thought hits you. You might be having a heart attack, and there's no one around to help. This exact scenario plays out for more than 380,000 Americans every year. People who experience heart attacks completely alone, no family nearby, no one to call for help. And tragically, most don't make it in time. But here's the part almost nobody talks about. A groundbreaking study in the European Heart Journal found that seniors who knew exactly what to do in the first 60 seconds of a heart attack increased their chances of survival by over 70%. Just 1 minute, that's all it takes to decide whether you survive or don't. Yet according to the same research, nearly 9 out of 10 seniors have no idea what those first steps actually are. They panic. They freeze. Some do things that make the situation worse, but that ends today. Because in this video, we be breaking down 7 life-saving techniques that could mean the difference between life and death if you ever face this nightmare alone. These aren't old wives' tales or internet myths. They evidence-based strategies backed by cardiologists in emergency. Experts from places like Johns Hopkins and the Mayo Clinic. And here's a spoiler. The #1 tip you going to learn gives you the same survival advantage as having a paramedic right beside you. And it has nothing to do with aspirin or medicine. So grab a seat, stay with me until the end. And maybe even take a few notes, because what you'll learn today could quite literally save your life. Before we begin, tell us in the comments now your age and where you're watching us from. We're reading and replying to every single comment, so drop your comments below. Now without any further ado, let's get started. #7. Create your emergency communication system. Let's start with something that sounds simple. But when every second counts, it can be the difference between living and dying. When a heart attack strikes, your brain begins losing oxygen almost instantly. Within 15 to 30 seconds, confusion sets in. You might forget where you are, or even struggle to speak clearly. In a study of over 500 heart attack survivors, 67% couldn't even remember their own address when calling 911, not because of memory problems, but because their brains were already starving for oxygen. That's why preparation is everything. It has to be done now, when you're calm, not when your heart is failing. Here's exactly what to do. First, write your full address, including apartment number or gate code, on a bright-colored index card. Tape it next to every phone in your home. Add your phone number too, because under stress, even that can slip your mind. Next, program 911 as speed dial #1 on every phone, including your cell. Sure, you can dial 911 manually, but when your fingers are shaking and you're gasping for air, hitting 1 button is infinitely easier than pressing 3. And remember this, the American Heart Association found that 43% of fatal heart attacks in the seniors happen between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. That's when phones are usually in another room charging. So, keep your phone close to your bed, always within reach. If you live alone, get yourself a medical alert device. But don't just buy it, wear it all the time, even in the shower, even when you sleep, because research shows 31% of seniors weren't wearing theirs during a cardiac emergency. And those few seconds of ILL, just take it off for a bit, have cost too many lives. Waterproof models might cost a little more, maybe $20 extra, but that's the cheapest life insurance you'll ever buy. Finally, tell your neighbors if you have any heart conditions. Give a trusted one a spare key and tell them to check on you if they hear something unusual, or don't TCU as usual. In apartment buildings, let your doorman or manager know. Yes. They can help paramedics reach you faster when every heartbeat matters. Because when your heart stops, every second becomes a race. And the system you set up today could be the one thing that saves your life tomorrow. #6. Master the cough CPR technique now. What if you start feeling those classic heart attack symptoms, that tight, crushing pressure in your chest, your heart starts skipping beats, and you know you're seconds away from losing consciousness? In that terrifying moment, there's one strange but powerful technique that could buy you just enough time to stay alive until help arrives. It's called cough CPR or cough resuscitation. For years it's been debated. Some called it a myth, others swore by it. But recent medical studies have given us clear answers on when and how it can actually help. So here's the truth. Cough CPR works only if you're still conscious and your heart rhythm becomes dangerously irregular, what doctors call a ventricular arrhythmia. When done correctly, it can keep blood flowing to your brain for up to 90 seconds longer. And in a heart attack, those 90 seconds can mean everything. A study from the Peking Union Medical College followed 240 patients who were taught this method. Those who used it correctly stayed conscious, an average of 92 seconds longer than those who didn't. That extra time was often enough to call 911 or take their medication. Here's exactly how to do it, and this part is crucial, at the first sign of heart attack symptoms, before you lose consciousness. Take the deepest breath you possibly can, filling your lungs completely, and cough hard and deep, as if you're trying to cough something up from the bottom of your chest. Repeat this pattern, breathe in deeply, cough forcefully every 2 seconds without stopping. Don't do gentle coughs from your throat. It must come from your diaphragm, the muscle just below your lungs. Each deep breath draws in fresh oxygen. Each strong cough squeezes your heart, pushing blood toward your brain. It's like manually pumping your heart when it's struggling to do the job itself. But listen carefully. This technique only works in the very first 30 to 60 seconds of symptoms, and only while you're still awake and alert. If your heart is completely blocked or if you're feeling faint, trying this could actually make things worse. So think of cough CPR as a bridge, something to keep you conscious while you're waiting for help. Not a replacement for calling 911. The Cleveland Clinic emphasizes this. You should never rely on it alone. But knowing it ahead of time can make all the difference, because when your chest is burning and your hands are shaking, you won't have time to Google what to do during a heart attack. Learn it now. Practice the breathing pattern today. It might give you those precious seconds that keep you alive. Number 5. The aspirin protocol that actually works. You've probably heard this advice before if you're having a heart attack. Just chew an aspirin. It's been repeated so many times that most people don't even question it anymore. But here's the thing. Most people do it wrong. And when done incorrectly, it can make almost no difference at all. So let's clear this up once and for all. When your heart attack begins, what's actually happening is this. Inside one of your heart's arteries, a fatty plaque suddenly ruptures. Your body tries to fix it by forming a blood clot, but that clot quickly blocks the artery completely, cutting off oxygen to part of your heart muscle. Every minute that passes, more of your heart tissue starts to die. Aspirin works because it thins your blood and prevents the clot from growing. But timing and the way you take it determines if it actually helps. Here's what cardiologists from the Mayo Clinic and Harvard Health say. Step 1, take 1 regular 325 milligrams aspirin. Not coated, not extended release. If you only have baby aspirin 81 milligrams, take 4 of them. Step 2, chew it, don't swallow it whole. Why? Because when you chew, the medicine gets absorbed through the lining of your mouth and starts working in under 60 seconds. If you swallow it, it can take 10 to 12 minutes before it even reaches your bloodstream. And in a heart attack, those minutes can mean the difference between life and death. Step 3, sit down and stay calm. Don't try to walk it off or lie flat. Sit upright with your back supported. It helps your heart pump blood more efficiently. Step 4, while you chew, call 911 immediately. Don't wait to see if you feel better. Some people experience silent heart attacks that come in waves. You might feel relief for a moment, then collapse a minute later. And one more thing, never take aspirin if you're allergic to it. Or if a doctor has told you not to because of ulcers, bleeding disorders, or anticoagulant use. In that case, skip the aspirin and focus on getting emergency help fast. Doctors from Johns Hopkins have found that people who take aspirin within the first 5 minutes of heart attack, symptoms are 23% more likely to survive than those who wait. So yes, aspirin can save your life, but only if you do it right and do it fast. Remember this line, don't swallow and pray, chew and stay. Number 4, the one position that keeps you alive longer most. People don't realize this, but the way you position your body during a heart attack can literally decide how much blood your heart can still pump, and whether you stay conscious long enough for help to arrive. You see, when your heart is struggling, every move you make changes how much oxygen your brain and heart get. And yet many people in panic do the worst possible thing. They lie flat on their back or try to walk around thinking it'll help. But here's what cardiologists from the American Heart Association say. Both of those can make things worse. When you lie flat, fluid starts pooling in your lungs, making it harder to breathe and forcing your heart to work even harder. And when you stand or walk, gravity pulls blood away from your brain, increasing the chance that you'll collapse suddenly and possibly never wake up. So here's what you should do instead. The position proven to keep blood flowing safely and reduce heart strain. Step 1. Sit down immediately. Find a sturdy chair, or even the floor, somewhere stable. Don't try to lie down or move around. Step 2. Lean slightly forward at about a 45-degree angle. And rest your forearms on your thighs, or on a table in front of you. This position is known as the cardiac rest position. It helps your lungs expand better, eases pressure on your heart, and allows blood to flow more efficiently to your brain and vital organs. Step 3. Keep your head slightly lowered and your neck relaxed. It may sound small, but it prevents sudden drops in blood pressure and keeps oxygen moving to the brain. Step 4. Avoid sudden movement. Don't reach for heavy things. Don't try to open doors or windows. The moment you feel symptoms, your only job is to stay still, breathe, and focus on staying conscious. A 2023 study published in the European Journal of Cardiology found that patients who stayed in this forward-leaning position had a 34% higher survival rate before paramedics arrived, compared to those who lay flat or tried to stand. Here's a simple way to remember it. Sit, lean, breathe, survive. That's your goal in those first terrifying minutes, to give your heart the best chance to keep pumping until help gets to you. Because your position isn't just about comfort, it's about buying time. In a heart attack, time is life. Number 3, the breathing trick that slows down a heart attack. When a heart attack begins, your first instinct is panic. Your body floods with adrenaline, your heart races faster, and every breath becomes shallow and tight. But here's something most people don't realize. Your breathing can either save you or kill you faster. Because when you panic breathe short, fast, and shallow, you send a message to your brain that you're in danger. Your nervous system responds by tightening blood vessels, speeding up your heart rate even more, and reducing the oxygen getting to your heart. It's like throwing gasoline on a fire that's already burning. That's why emergency doctors and paramedics now teach something simple but incredibly powerful: controlled, slow breathing. A technique that can actually calm your heart down from the inside. A 2022 study from the American Journal of Cardiology found that patients who used controlled breathing during the early stages of a heart attack had lower heart strain, better oxygen levels, and in some cases, even avoided cardiac arrest altogether. Here's how to do it. Step 1. Sit in that same forward-leaning position we talked about earlier. Keep your spine straight, shoulders relaxed, and hands resting on your thighs. Step 2. Close your eyes and take a slow, deep breath in through your nose for 4 seconds. Feel your belly rise, not your chest. Step 3. Hold that breath gently for 2 seconds. Just a pause, not straining, not forcing. Step 4. Now exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 seconds, as if you're gently blowing through a straw. This is called the 4 to 6 method, and it works because it activates your vagus nerve, the body's built-in brake pedal for your heart. Helps slow down your heartbeat, reduce oxygen demand, and calm your entire cardiovascular system. Step 5. Keep repeating this pattern in 4-4. Hold for 2, out for 6. Do it continuously until help arrives or until your symptoms start to stabilize. One patient described it perfectly after surviving a heart attack alone. It felt like I was holding my own hand through it. My body wanted to panic, but my breath kept me alive, and that's the secret. Your breath is the only part of your nervous system you can consciously control. Use it right, and you turn chaos into control. So when your heart feels like it's slipping away, don't fight it with fear. Fight it with calm, slow, deliberate breathing, because panic speeds death. But calm buys life. Number 2, the one move that could restart your heart. Imagine this. You're alone at home. You feel the crushing pain in your chest. You can barely breathe. And then everything starts to fade. Your vision blurs. Sounds become distant, and your heartbeat slows, then stops. You've just gone into cardiac arrest. And in that moment, you have about 60 seconds before your brain begins to shut down. No one's coming yet. No paramedics, no neighbor, no family, just you and your fading heartbeat. So what can you possibly do? There's one last move that doctors call a precordial thump. It's rarely talked about, and it's not for everyone, but in those rare, desperate seconds, it could shock your heart back into rhythm. Here's how it works. When your heart stops because of a sudden rhythm disturbance like ventricular fibrillation, a sharp mechanical impact to your chest can sometimes trigger the heart's natural pacemaker to fire again. It's not magic, it's physics and biology working together. A 2021 study from the European Resuscitation Council found that in out-of hospital cardiac arrests that occurred with medical supervision, the precordial thumps successfully restarted the heart in up to 25% of cases, but only when performed immediately after collapse. Here's exactly what to do, and please, remember, this is a last resort, only if you've already lost consciousness and help isn't there yet. Step 1. Make a tight fist with your dominant hand. Step 2. Raise it about 8 to 10 inches above the center of your chest. The point right between your nipples, over the sternum. Step 3. Strike your chest once, firmly and fast. Not too high, not too soft, not too many times. Just once. The goal isn't to bruise, it's to deliver a quick, focused jolt. If your heart is in a shockable rhythm, that sudden pressure wave can sometimes reset the electrical circuit the same way a defibrillator does, but with your own hand. If there's no response within a second or two, don't repeat it. Start chest compressions immediately if you know how, pushing hard and fast in the center of the chest. About 100 to 120 times per minute, roughly to the beat of the song Stayin' Alive. It sounds intense, and it is. But in a life-or-death moment, this single move might give your heart a fighting chance to come back. Doctors still stress this. The precordial thump should only be used when collapse is witnessed, and no defibrillator or medical help is immediately available. It's not a guarantee, but when your heart flatlines and seconds mean everything, one strike could be the difference between darkness and another heartbeat. Now we come to the most important one. The rule that could save your life because it ties everything together. It's called the 3-minute rule. And here's the hard truth. If your heart stops, no one starts helping within 3 minutes, your chance of survival drops by more than 70%. After 4 minutes, brain cells begin to die. After 6 minutes, even if you're revived, you may never fully recover. That's why so many people don't die instantly from a heart attack. They die waiting. Waiting for someone to find them. Waiting for help that comes too late. But the 3-minute rule isn't about fear. It's about control. It's about knowing exactly what to do in those first 180 seconds, when your body is breaking down but your mind is still here. Here's what the experts say to do, step by step. Step 1. Recognize the signs instantly. Don't second-guess yourself. If you feel sudden tightness, pressure, or pain spreading to your arm, neck, jaw, or back, don't assume it's gas or fatigue. Most heart attack victims lose time because they convince themselves it's nothing serious. Every second you wait is heart tissue dying. Step 2. Call for help immediately. Even before you take aspirin, even before you change position, call 911 or your local emergency number. Keep the phone near your mouth and stay on the line. If you can't speak, leave the call open so the dispatcher can trace it. Emergency systems can often detect location from a silent call. Step 3. Prepare for collapse. Move somewhere safe, away from sharp corners or stairs. Sit in that forward-leaning position we talked about, and start your controlled breathing in for 4. Hold for 2, out for 6. Step 4. Take your aspirin the right way. Chew it slowly, don't swallow it whole. It should start working within 1 minute. Step 5. Stay conscious. If your vision starts to fade, use cough CPR, deep breath, strong cough. Repeat every 2 seconds. It can keep oxygen flowing long enough for help to arrive. Those are your 3 minutes, your golden window. The average ambulance takes 8 to 10 minutes to arrive in most cities. That means your survival depends on what you do before they get there. Not on luck, not on prayer, but on calm, precise action. So remember this rule: 3 minutes to act, 10 minutes to survive. The people who live through heart attacks alone aren't always the strongest or healthiest. They're the ones who stayed calm, who knew what to do, and who refuse to let panic win. You don't have to be helpless. You don't have to be afraid. Because now, you know the truth. You can survive a heart attack alone. Just have to be ready before it happens. You've just learned 7 life-saving strategies that could literally be the difference between life and death if you ever face a heart attack alone. Remember, this isn't about fear. It's about control. It's about preparation. It's about giving yourself the best chance to survive until professional help arrives. Practice these steps now while you're calm. Check your aspirin and nitroglycerin supplies regularly. Keep your emergency communication system ready today, not tomorrow. Share this knowledge with every senior you know, your parent, grandparent, neighbor, or friend. Heart disease kills more people over 60 than anything else. But knowledge, preparation, and quick action can dramatically improve survival odds. Print these instructions, keep them somewhere visible, and review them regularly. When panic strikes, you won't have time to think, but having a plan will save precious seconds, and those seconds could save your life. Your heart and your loved ones will thank you for being prepared. We want to hear from you. Have you or someone you love ever experienced a heart emergency while alone? What's the one thing you wish you had known beforehand? Share your story in the comments. It could save someone else's life. Stay safe, stay prepared, and never underestimate the power of knowing exactly what to do in the first few minutes.